This is Level Up Success Podcast with Neth and Truth.
I just feel like we're gonna meet so many people. We already met some amazing people. Like for instance, we met somebody that gave us these, that he does merch. So soon we're gonna be having merch for people. So it's just like I said, it's just very exciting, and I'm sure we're just gonna meet more amazing people. And for us, as far as now, it's already a win because we got this amazing opportunity to just share our thoughts and do what it is that we like. We like talking to people in the community about positive things that they're doing within the community. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm happy.
We all happy. Like when we got this merch, we didn't even think about it. He did it as a gift because the way we meet up and like we met him through another person too. Like the same way we met through Forever Nutrition, we wasn't somewhere else and. Yeah, we be meeting a lot of people. You just say that. The same way you have met a lot of people, we are now starting to, because we already been doing it for a year. So I feel like we heading in the right direction, if that makes sense. So hopefully.
Yeah, man.
You never know. Absolutely. The thing is, you can't stop. You obviously have something good with what you have right now. And the thing is now just fine tuning it, honing your skills. Like, for example, when you're posting on social media, when you are creating content, this is your chance to experiment. You guys are still young as a business, as a podcast. So this is your chance to try new things, try new formats. What's that thing that people say? Like, if you keep repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting the same results, that's the definition of insanity. Mm-hmm. So like now that you have this, like we're recording this video, you have the other podcasts. Now, what else can you do with it? You're making those little clips. You're making those little, YouTube shorts, TikToks, whatever, Instagram Reels, because that's how you start expanding your brand, getting more people to see your company, your podcast, whatever you're promoting, And I love that. With your podcast, if you want to make sure people can see what you're doing, you just got to keep making more of it, but also cutting it up, distributing it in different ways. This is your chance now to take these moments and show them to the world pretty much.
Yeah. No, definitely. Thank you for that, man. So let me ask you this. Would you, and let me ask it this way. Is there any way that you consider going back to being a teacher? Like, are there certain things or certain requirements in your mind? You say, you know what? I'll be a teacher if.
I would be a teacher if. So I actually recently, like, funny that you asked that. I recently was a substitute teacher for a bit. For school, just randomly, just helping out a friend of mine because they really, really needed it. But would I ever be a full-on teacher again? Probably not. But am I interested in education? Probably. Like, I would love to have my own school, my own some kind of academy, the Dandy Academy or something like that. But yeah, I don't know if I ever want to be back in the trenches, so to speak, like back in the classroom. Like, I'd rather help other teachers or lead other teachers to my educational philosophy and hopefully influence other teachers. But being back in the classroom, not so much, but having a school or something. Maybe.
I mean, seeing the bigger picture. I mean, that's the best way to do it. You always gotta look at the bigger picture.
Yeah, we had an episode with a teacher, and we kind of talked about something similar to that. It's like every person that we've had here that is within the who are teachers. They feel the same way. It's like there's so much more that could kind of like be done, like or in their minds. And, it just shows because I could say as somebody who's not in the school system, like the
education,
schools, the schools, and it sucks, right? Like, I mean, look, I could say
you're not
it,
wrong. You're not, dude, look, real talk though. If education was good, I would still be a teacher. I would not be an influencer. You know, like what helped me like change my job is like, oh, look, I can make money being a content creator and the hours are better, you know, like, and there's no like societal pressures and all this other stuff that looms, you know, on top of you when you're being a teacher. So if it was different, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I would still be a teacher, you know, but being a teacher and like all that stuff that was happening to me, it made it very easy to change or at least try this out.
Yeah.
And when I tried it out, I was like, okay, worst case scenario, if I failed being a creator, I'll just be a teacher again. But also, if being a teacher was lucrative for me, I wouldn't even think about it. You know,
Of course, yeah.
I would just stay being a teacher.
No, it makes sense because like Ned said, we already have a couple of teachers we interview, and they all have their own vision that they cannot do because you know when you're part of the educational system, you gotta do certain things their ways, requirements. I gotta be careful how I say it, but yeah, I know when you're a teacher, you gotta do certain things that are required by I get the state, and sometimes you know it doesn't work, but you still need to do it either way. So I have discussion about that with other teachers, but yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I actually discussed like what would be a good idea for being a teacher. If y'all check out the Shakira teacher, check that out, and you know, let me know what y'all think about that. But yeah, I do have like an idea to have you know, like a couple of teachers that, you know, like we interview, get them together and actually give an opinion on, you know, like what would be the best system. And, you know, like it's something that I'm cooking up, but we'll discuss that in the future.
Yeah, that definitely is our future episode.
Yeah.
We just gotta arrange the time.
Hey, we might call you because, you know, you say your own school, so you might be the principal. So
yeah,
so that's what's missing, the principal.
I mean, but maybe we could create that academy with our group. So
yeah,
I'll also supply the uniforms and everything. There you go.
Definitely. All right, so Danny, in the course of your journey, right, on being an influencer, have you encountered any mentors, anybody that you follow, you know, to help you with your path?
That's a great question. No, to be honest with you, no. When I first started doing this, I didn't know who to look towards, honestly. I didn't even know what I was doing, to be frank. You know, I didn't know what I was doing was even a job. I just like taking pictures of my outfits, you know, and I like taking pictures of my outfits and I was like, oh, people will get money for this. So it wasn't like I had someone to look up to. You know, honestly, one of the big reasons which encouraged me to make my account on Instagram and also name it Dan D in the Bronx was that I didn't see a lot of people who looked like me. You know, it was a lot of, you know, light-skinned people, you know, doing this from Brooklyn, from Manhattan, from Carajo Land, whatever. And I didn't feel that there was a lot of representation. And like, yes, nowadays, there's so many, you know, creators of color and everything, and I love it, you know. But back then, I didn't know. I didn't even know where to look. I didn't know where to start. So it was pretty much, you know, just me looking at what other people were doing and just trying to make my own version of it, pretty much. But you know, even today, like, there's so much diversity, but you should also, you know, find something that sets you apart. You just can't now just be a Latino from the Bronx. You got to be a Latino in the Bronx that does X, Y, and Z. What other things differentiate you from everyone else? Because remember, nowadays, everyone and their mom is a creator. Everyone and their mom is an influencer. You know, what sets you apart?
Yes. Let me ask you this. So have, like, you know, I know you were a teacher before. Do you get reached out by any of your students? Like, you know, that anybody reach out to you, or say, "Oh, you were my teacher once," you know, like, you don't get none of those?
No. Sadly, that has not happened. I do get former teachers though, and former principals I worked with. They reach out randomly. Okay. But in terms of students, no, that's not happened.
All right. I mean, hey, man, it's still not too late. You might get that in the future.
Yeah, there were like 6. I'm sorry. When you used to teach, what was the age group, if you don't mind asking?
They were around like 3 to 4 years old.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
Okay, well,
tough.
okay.
There's no way.
Yeah, probably.
That's a good reason. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the parents would be like, oh, look.
I hope you remember what I did when I was 3. So
I think I have some parents. I think I have some parents from back then who still follow me on Instagram. So.
oh, okay, so that's perfect at least. So that's
Yeah.
good.
All right.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna, if you don't mind, we're gonna have, like your page up. If you don't mind, like we'll put it up so that people could see, you know.
I don't want people to look at my website. I don't want people to look at my content. I don't want that to happen.
Of course. So, like my question to you now, like, you know, it's something that I ask a couple of my guests that come in, you know, like, cause you've seen somebody who's driven and, you know, like, it doesn't seem like you're going to stop where you are now. You know, like, what would be like your goals? Like for instance, and the way I do this is first I ask, you know, where do you see yourself like a year from now? You know, like just for starters.
So from a year from now, where do I see myself? I'm hoping to see more of what I'm doing now, but with better production value, bigger trips. Like right now, knock on wood, I have some potential opportunities coming up. So if they work, then that will help me elevate my own brand. You know, ways to elevate my brand. You know, just be more of a name or a face in at least my community, or beyond, hopefully. So even though I've been doing this for a while, I feel like I'm just hitting my stride.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm hitting my stride, and I'm getting a lot of great opportunities, and I'm hoping to do more with that.
All right, awesome. What about let's say 5 years from today? Have you gone that far to think, man, 5 years from today? And there's a reason why I asked that. Actually, the thing is that what we notice, like as far as us, me and Truth, we like to keep ourselves like accountable on how we proceeding, right? So we have our goals, and like a lot of times, well, I don't want to say a lot of times, the times that we haven't reached all the goals that we've wanted to meet, right? But it doesn't stop us. It just lets us know, look, what did we learn from this time? And how we gonna improve? So we kind of do have a vision of where we see ourselves a year from today, 5 years from today, and ultimately, like in the future. So have you considered that? Have you thought about, hey, 5 years from now, this is where Dandy from the Bronx is gonna
where
be.
you would like to see yourself. And not saying that we're gonna be there, but where you like to see yourself in 5 years and 10 years.
Well, yeah, like in I would say 5-10 years, like hopefully still doing a variation of this. Like hopefully my business can still exist in that. Hopefully I've evolved as a person where I could be creating different kinds of content that whether it be just existing, just personality driven content with my audience that's grown with me, or getting new people. Like hopefully we're still growing, we're still attracting, new people, but also I'm experimenting with different formats, different places, whether it be YouTube, Twitch, so maybe more gaming content. I'm still working on, being a personality, a face or something. So maybe using that in the future, whether it be being hired for things that are not fashion based. Like I while I love wearing suits, I love going to restaurants. Like what more can we do other than that? And also maybe, hiring some people, having people in my team, also, or mentoring people, like helping other people do what I'm doing. So I'm hoping to have Dandy in the Bronx, to be something of like an umbrella that has many different facets to it. So whether it be gaming, fashion, mentorships, consulting, I hope that comes down the line.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. And like I said, with me and Truth, we've actually talked about, like, like I said, within the future, how can we help, being that we already have our, like our goals on that we want to meet. So, that's, and it's great conversations to have, you know what I mean? Like it's a great thing to think about and consider, that you could do all these things, because, hey, sky's the limit.
You gotta keep yourself accountable. Like if you have set yourself a special goal, I'm not, like I said, it doesn't have to be that you gotta make that goal, but just make sure you work into that goal. That's the main purpose. You gotta work.
Yeah, you just gotta do something. I think that goes back to what we were saying earlier. Like you just gotta make content. You just gotta create something. Like it. Whether you're passionate about making bouquets, you want to make a bouquet business, so start making some bouquet content. Make that flower content. Start talking about it. Become an expert in flowers. If you're an expert at doing box braids or whatever, like make box braids, braiding content, whatever. Make those videos. Like you just can't sit on your laurels, sit on your butt, and just hope that these customers will eventually find you. You gotta create stuff. You have to be a personality. You got to be the expert in bouquets, braids, suits, Pokemon, podcasting, real estate, whatever. You just got to talk about it, be passionate about it.
Exactly,
I think people forget that, they want to be rich before being, involved, like you got to be passionate about something first. You got to love something first. What do you love? What do you care about? And then whatever that thing is, talk about it, be the expert in it, be passionate in it. Because then that type of energy will attract people who are interested in that. You just can't just expect people to just find you. You have to create something and attract them to you.
Exactly. Yeah. No, and those are key words right there. You gotta work. You gotta find the people, not let them find you. You know what I mean? Work your way on finding how to attract what you're doing to the audience. And we're in a time where it's easier now, man. Like you have so much material like to that you could use in your benefit. So it's the time for everybody who wants to expand and do their own business. You have an idea, anything that you believe that is beneficial to everybody, just show it out. And you can just reach out to us, Level Up Success Podcast. We don't mind giving you the interview, all right? Yeah. So, Dan, do you have any like hobbies?
Hobbies. Yeah. That's the funny thing. Like every hobby that I do, I try to make money off of it. Like that's the thing. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Because I
not
like
bad.
Technically I should relax. But the thing is, like, I got to learn to relax. I got to learn how to just like cut myself off. Like for example, during the lockdown. Like I love video games. I love playing Pokemon, whatever. So during the lockdown, I was like, man, I'm just playing these games. Like I need to and plus during the lockdown, I couldn't make any fashion content. So I was like, let me try to learn about live streaming. Let me try to learn about that stuff. Be a gaming content creator. I was like, all right, if I want to play video games, might as well do it live to potentially make some money out of it. So, but yeah, my hobbies right now is pretty much Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, a lot of nerdy stuff. Yeah. Building my PC, I'm a big fan of, okay. And I love tech. Like I love gadgets and stuff like that. I have right here. I'm going to show you real quick. I don't know if it's going to show up on the device real quick, but I have 4 phones here.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And I do stuff with all these phones. I use them as external monitors. I use them as cameras. I use them to play Pokemon Go. So learning about tech. Actually, before I was a fashion creator, my initial dream was I want to be a tech content creator. I want to talk about tech and stuff like that. But that now maybe I can get back into that. But that was my initial dream.
No, I think that's still on demand. This it's not too late for you to talk about the gadgets and stuff. Because I know, as a matter of fact, forgot his name. I gotta look it up. But that was the first time I looked at somebody that he kept unboxing new gadgets that came out and started reviewing. And I'm like, why does he do that? Does he get paid? I really started thinking about that.
No, they do because
I know.
There's this guy that I follow too. They just open. I'm into retro. I follow retro gamers. Yeah, do retro stuff. There's this guy that I follow. They just buy. I don't know if they go not, but they buy small Android boxes with full games. I know but they review every episode. He's just reviewing hard drive of old school game or computer with old school game. And he became reviews. He be doing. I be watching it. It's the same episode.
There you go. Yeah,
he talking about the same thing. I still watch it.
Yeah. Okay,
there's always an audience or something.
I found this Unbox Therapy. So I watch this guy.
That guy's huge.
Yeah. I watch him, and when he started talking about I first got introduced to him when he started talking about the Galaxy S8 versus the OnePlus. I mean, I have a phone business, so I was invested in understanding, like how I could get a phone that's like half the price and does all the same things. So from then I was like, man, this guy makes money out of this. Like, why is he like promoting these things? And that's when I started like, yeah. So that was pretty awesome.
I mean, like you said, and when you find your niche, just become an expert and talk about it. Because most of the people that follow in retro, they're expert. They know like this guy that review old games. He tells you the date came out, the creator, the producer, information that you wouldn't even know. Oh my God, there's so much that go involved in creating old games that I think you know about it, and they got detail.
Yeah, that's what comes back to it. Passion. Like these people care about what they're talking about. So if you're listening to this right now and you're like, oh, I want to be a creator, influencer, whatever, creator of some kind, you got to care about something. You got to be passionate about something. So that's like back to like being a bouquet. You're making bouquets. Tell me about the flowers. Tell me about what country these flowers are from. What water did you use? What seeds these came from? How did you cut them? Yeah. If you're into braiding, like tell me about like your braiding technique. Tell me about the history of braiding or whatever, You have to care about something so much, and that energy, like right now, you guys are gushing about unboxing. You are gushing about retro tech. Like, why is not someone in the Bronx doing that? You know what I mean? Like, just be passionate about those things.
Yeah, no, real truth. There you go, man. You love that retro stuff.
No, I'm thinking. I love retro game. I don't know why, but I'm thinking of doing that too. Right now, my main focus on the podcast, but definitely I would love to do that too.
So I mean,
even your focus is the podcast. Like you should do like little videos about like what do you love about audio. You are clearly an aficionado about audio, you should make content about like what's your favorite cables, or like why do you prefer this mic versus this mic? What are the differences? What your favorite amp? I don't know. Like that passion translates, and you could, and especially here's another thing too. I think a lot of people forget about this. Y'all should be making more Spanish content. I feel like there's a lot of right now. There's a missing void for like Spanish language content, and I've lost opportunities, my friends, because I don't speak perfect Spanish. Yo hablo español, pero no hablo tan bien. I'm not fluent in Spanish, and I've lost opportunities because I do not speak fluent Spanish.
I mean,
so if you can make Spanish content, you can have a whole new world that other people don't have access to.
We've actually discussed about that. I could say that we've been slacking on that. I mean, there's been a reason why, but it's something that we do.
We have been in discussion and we have a plan. The reason we're slacking on it because we're working on something in the future.
Yeah.
That I don't want to talk about right now, but believe me, we got the same thing. We have the Level Up Success, and we want to do like a Spanish edition, but of course we're not going to name it Level Up Success.
And it's funny because a lot of our subscribers, they speak Spanish, and they just tell me, hey, when are you gonna make the Spanish?
Dude, you're missing out. You're missing out on extra things.
Yeah, man. So it's definitely something that we gotta put on the works. Yeah,
we definitely gotta do that. But you're right because what we spoke about it's growing. The Spanish community.
Look, let me tell you something. No, absolutely. And like a lot of like the big YouTubers now, like they have like Spanish versions of their channels. Like Mr. Beast, you can watch Mr. Beast in Spanish. And there's all these like AI tools that are coming out. They can like translate your shows and stuff like that. So as Latinos, like you got to make that Dominican content, you got to make that Boricua content, because there are people that want to do these techie things, but the language barrier is there. Like I wish, my goodness, if I could speak perfect Spanish, I would take over the world, like dead ass. Like, but I'm so like not good at my Spanish that I wish I would, because I could be like writing my captions in Spanish, doing my TikToks in Spanish, my everything in Spanish. Like sometimes on my shows, on my Twitch shows, when I play Pokemon Go, like I'll mention, I do some Spanglish, like yo puedo hablar un poquito, yo puedo leerlo, whatever. Pero I go back and forth. But man, if I can speak, that's a whole different countries I can target. I can speak Spanish.
You're right. Nah, but we do have the AI now. I mean, it's something new, but we gotta look that up.
No, we just gotta talk Spanish. I mean, our Spanish is not that great ego, but I feel we could
No,
do
no
it.
podemos defender
Lo
algo.
defendíamos bien.
Yeah, but better, but like, hey, do a Spanglish version. I don't know, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying though, you are leaving potential viewers out by not talking Spanish.
You kind of feel bad right
Nah,
now.
he got me feeling bad. Now I feel like I'm offending our
Look,
Spanish
hey,
audience.
look,
man.
hey, look. I'm influencing you right now, and hopefully you make some Spanish content down the line.
No, we have to because we did a live. And remember, while you guys talking in English already?
Oh yeah,
we did a live.
that was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad, man.
We're gonna help our case.
But so then the one thing that I kind of one thing that I will agree with you with is like I don't think there's nothing wrong with you actually wanting to make a profit out of the games. I'm gonna tell you why, because I have a story, right? There was this game that came out a long time ago, right? People are gonna laugh when they hear this. It's called it's Call of Duty World at War. This game came
World at
out.
War. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that's on PC.
It came out like what? Like I think it was in 2005, I believe.
Yeah.
I played that game for 5 years. 5 whole years. And it's not the multiplayer mode. I was playing like the zombie games. Like I was a monster. I was so good that I was in the leaderboards. I'll be first ranked before they did the mods. And all I thought at that time, like, yo, man, if there's a way that I could just make money out of this, man, like this is, and then YouTube started, people just started putting out like YouTube content on it, and we will record it on YouTube, but it was not something on demand. But I'm like, look, if people can just see my strategy, like the strategy that we pulled off in this game, I'm like, man. So then after that game, I kind of like just got rid of gaming because I felt like I wasted 5 years. But then afterwards, coincidentally, I see now we have Twitch, we have all these mainstreams, and I'm just like, man, if this game would have came out at that time, like I would have just been a gamer at this point in time.
No, you would be
I
making
was so
money,
good
yeah.
at this game.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You will be set.
Yeah, but I do. Yeah, I think it's fine for you to want to make a profit out of it. Now, I don't know if it's getting in the way of you actually wanting to have fun on the game. I don't know if that's your reason for it.
No, I'm still having fun.
Yeah.
Thankfully with my audience or whatever, it's still fun. But now when you go play, there's another goal in mind. It's like entertainment.
Yeah.
You're playing. You're a character. You're taking care of your audience. You're making sure you're doing the right moves or whatever. So you can't just f around pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, no. I mean, it is something that I thought about. Like anybody who, as a matter of fact, people that play games that I know that they're dedicating their time to playing games, I let them know, look, man, make a profit out of it. Like if that's if this is what you want to do, because a lot of games, there's like a bad stigma with gamers. It exists, right? Especially like with the parents that don't understand.
When we were kids, like it made sense because back in the day, we wasn't making money as a gamer, but now.
Yeah, it's so crazy, like how much regret, like if you actually trained your kid to be like a good gamer, like how much money you'd be making. Isn't that kind of crazy when you think about it?
It's insane.
Yeah, but our parents got the old
insane.
school mind, though.
Yeah, no, but like I said to people, like if you really feel like you're the best in gaming, like really work on being the best and make a profit, like have people view you gaming if that's what you want to do. You understand what I'm saying? Like I don't have nothing against it as long as you're doing something productive. You know what I mean? And gaming is going on another whole other level. Like like the this metaverse thing, like it's gonna pop. You know what I mean? So like the future's gonna look crazy as far as that. But yeah. So Dandy, it was a pleasure having you here. I mean, I think we kind of covered everything. Is there anything that you missed?
No, I think I pretty much. I was asking more about not about influences, but no, I think I got everything with the video, the technique stuff, because like I said, it's a process. Once you become an influencer, you gotta go the business side, the editing part, coming up with ideas, all that stuff. So and no, he was able to answer some of the questions I was thinking. So it went perfect. I love this episode.
Yeah, no, I did learn a lot from you, and I am grateful. Now, is there anything that you would like to say before we end the segment?
Whoever's watching or listening to this right now, just make sure that you just got to try. Whatever you've been thinking about, whatever is that small business idea, that small kind of content, whatever, you just got to try it. And what's the worst that could happen? Like if it fails, it fails. Then you just move on. But if you never try, you're never going to know. Create something, sell something, post something. In this day and age, everyone has a decent phone and everyone has access to the same social media networks. All you got to do is be resourceful, get your phone, get a tripod, if anything, and just make something. And then see what happens. Because if you don't create it, then it doesn't exist.
Exactly. All right. Beautiful, man. Beautifully said.
So, Dandy, before we end this, do you want to promote your website, your Instagram, YouTube?
Oh, of course. I would love to promote myself.
And send it to us, the link, too, so we can put it, too.
Yeah. Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram at Dandy in the Bronx, DANDY in the Bronx, Dandy. And pretty much that's the same username everywhere else. You can find my video game Pokemon Go content on TikTok and on YouTube. Same username, Dandy in the Bronx. And my fashion stuff lives on Instagram. And I also have a website as well, dandyinthebronx.com.
All right. So, again, I want to say thank you for being our guest and taking your time. And before we end this, for all our listeners, if you like what we're doing, like I always say, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Instagram. We everywhere. Just make sure you follow. There's a link in our Instagram where everything is located. And I just want to say thank you. And
no. Like I said, easiest way to find us, like he said, just go to Instagram, and you'll see from there. You see all our where we are, like all our content.
App.
Yeah, and soon we're gonna have merch, guys. So that's a way
that's
you
what
could,
we're working on.
Yeah, we're working on that. A way you could support us, and we out here leveling up to success. Just want to give you guys deuces.
Peace.
All right.